Many people quite rightly will ask, well, what's the point of performing at my very best? Now, sometimes that's a genuine question about how they can be better in their lives and work. And also for some, it's about that resistance to that. So they'll resist that temptation or that need to do better and be better. And ultimately, we're trying to pinpoint the intangible, really. How do we measure and evaluate training development or being at your very best? And how do you know when you're being at your very best? But for where we can, Kotler and Wheel in the book Stealing Fire do a nice little example. It's one that we've all probably heard of or known of, and it's the 9 dots, that kind of creative problem solving, the 9-dot problem. And actually, it's quite surprising to me, the actual evidence is only fewer than 5% of the population normally crack it. I was quite surprised by that. And of course, it does depend if you've seen it or done it before. And they ran a control group in this particular study at the University of Sydney. And in the control group, actually no one did it. So it was a lot fewer than 5%. And then, without cutting a long story short, they induced flow for another group. And actually they cracked that 40% of the time, which is pretty amazing. So you've gone from 0 to 40% just by introducing and inducing this thing called flow. And that's up to 8 times the norm, really. And what you're really doing there is, if you want to try and shortcut that a little bit, is you're moving from the subconscious process in the subconscious mind. Oh no, I have to do this. What's the clock? There's 9 dots, everything else. The kind of very conscious processing to more of a subconscious processing, and that's where the advantage really comes from. And we often notice that when we're in flow, we get out of our heads, if you like, literally out of our heads, and actually more into that subconscious that gives us that advantage.